All right. Animate Orlando Sunday morning. Let's make some noise first. Nobody Q&A's like Gaston. Please help me welcome Richard White. And you know her as the voice of Belle, a Disney legend. Animate, make some noise for Paige OHara. Good morning.
Good morning.
Morning.
It's quite incredible because we did the tea party yesterday morning. A lot of familiar faces out here from the tea party. And you know, and that's something that I've noticed with you in this fandom is that you do have a lot of, you know, we have the social media followers, you know, now, but really, you and Beauty and the Beast have this following, and people do follow you from show to show, city to city. What is that like for you?
It's very humbling, to be honest with you, and I appreciate you, all of you that do that. They come to most of our events, or a lot of them anyway, and Richard and
I just
we all
follow
know
her.
them. We all know them by their names and their families, and it's great.
And what I love about your dynamic and Robbie's as well is that Beauty and the Beast wasn't the first time that you worked with each other, that you knew each other. You actually knew each other from theater before you auditioned.
Tell them, Richard.
We did. Actually, we did a bunch of productions of Showboat.
We did.
And
Houston Grand Opera, and then we ended up in Cairo at the Opera House in Egypt. It was amazing.
it was very cool. We reopened the Opera House. The Opera House in Cairo is very famous, but it burned down. 30 years later, the Japanese built a new one for them, and they asked us to open it for them. The Houston Grand production of
Yeah.
Showboat.
Actually, the president of Cairo was married to an American woman, and she said, Showboat's my favorite musical, please bring them over. So not only did they bring all of us over, the orchestra,
And the stage people,
And
the
then
cables down, the cables and everything
and
else.
remember the
It's a new house, nobody had
the
worked
food
it.
was terrible, so they brought over to Houston barbecue restaurant.
She doesn't like camels.
Well, I was vegetarian, there wasn't much choice for me there.
So when it came time to audition, was this something that you had talked to each other and said, hey, I'm looking at this, there's this Disney project, or is this something that while during the audition process you were like, oh, you're doing this
Richard's
too?
up for that.
Well, it so happens that we had the same agent at
Okay.
the time. Whether that had anything to do with it or not, I don't know. But honestly, everybody in town who could possibly do these roles wanted to be seen for it, and so we're seen for it. When I say seen, they weren't, because it was
That's
a blind audition.
Heard, yes.
Yeah, it was a blind audition. You went into the room, and you usually have people that you're auditioning for. No, there was a reel-to-reel tape recorder, and they recorded you and wrapped it up and sent it off to California, and that was the last you heard of it until you heard more.
How long was the audition process? Because sometimes I hear, hey, you know, like it takes a year, before you hear back, like 6, 7 callbacks. Sometimes I hear, hey, 6 weeks later, I got a call.
This was for me a month, about a month. I was cast within a month. But Linda Larkin, it was over a year, she heard later. Yeah. So, was it for you? Was it technically?
I didn't have any callbacks.
Wow.
Yeah,
They
I
knew they
think-
wanted you.
Well, you know,
Yeah,
Gaston.
absolutely.
Hey, special. I had to do 7 auditions.
Richard walked in, they were like,
There he is. No. But it was very, very flattering and very so glad to get that notice, to get the call that they wanted me to do it.
so when was, movie comes out in 91, so when was the audition and the recording for it? Had Little Mermaid already
Yes.
come out when
Yes.
you guys, okay, so fresh off the heels of Little Mermaid 1989.
We knew going in
Yes.
what kind of a situation this was going to
Yeah.
be. Mermaid was so successful.
Such a huge hit.
And Alan and Howard were involved in so we had that team together. There was really, and it's Disney who takes meticulous care of particularly these projects. So you had a pretty good idea that this was going to get special care and that it was going to be something special. It was also the first digital one.
It was.
So
yeah.
there wasn't going to be, what we laid down was going to last for a long time. And
So
that was nice to know.
was there pressure there? Again, fresh off the heels of Little Mermaid, this is the next big production with, with Howard and Alan. Yeah, you're going to be doing this big movie. Was there pressure, or was this just another gig?
Oh, no. I mean, I grew up loving the Disney animated movies. And Mary Poppins is my favorite movie ever, still. Yes, that deserves applause. So I was one of those kids that just, even when I went to New York at 17, I was broke. My buddies down in Bruce and I would go see the double Disney features every Saturday, and that was our little getaway. And so I was pretty psyched about getting the part, I gotta tell you, to be honest. And,
Like I say, everybody in town wanted these parts, so we were all very psyched about that.
Were you a Disney fan yourself?
Of course. Well, we were all raised on it.
Right.
of course.
I
And
don't
Wonderful
know if
World of
that's-
Disney every Sunday night.
Yeah.
You know, it's
There was
aging
actually
ourselves.
more Disney then, I think, than there is
Right.
now.
So what was your favorite growing up? Did you have a
Snow White, I'm sorry, you know, the deer and the witch, and I
Yeah.
studied under the witch. And that's something.
My son is here, and I've told you before, Belle is his favorite. Belle is his absolute favorite.
Thank you.
Do you get a lot of that where young boys come to and tell you that Belle is their first crush?
Yes, that's happened a few times. And actually, I was told a few years ago that when they've done studies, Belle usually has the most men and boy fans of the princesses, which I think is kind of cool that they're into smart brunette. You know, we love
I was
that.
just saying, why do you think that is? Why do you think Belle over?
I have no idea because it could be for me. I can't see it.
Right.
With an opinion
Yeah,
that's
she's got Gastons, okay.
This is true. Gaston, he has his pick.
really.
I know.
You mentioned, Snow White. You're talking about some of the legacy princesses, but during this time with Little Mermaid, with Ariel and Belle and Jasmine, who are all here this weekend, which is amazing. But there starts to see this turn towards this strong princess, strong female character.
I have to give a lot of credit to Linda Wolverton for that. She wrote the screenplay for Beauty and the Beast, and if you meet Linda, you'll definitely see a lot of Belle in Linda Wolverton. And she and I both were really pushing the books and that side of her and the independence. I kind of share this role with a lot of people. It's not just me. It's Linda Wolverton. It's Mark Henn, and we all are a part of creating her. And I'm just lucky to be able to have the voice to do it. So, but they do copy us a lot. Richard was talking about that yesterday. When they videotape you through the whole sessions every day. So they look at the videotape and all the quirky things that we do, and with the hair, and an eye, and you with your cleaning your teeth. I think you did that, and they put that on tape in the mirror. All these little things they pick up because they're actors with pencils. They really are.
I think that the most wonderful thing that they're able to do is to really capture your expression, what you're
Yes.
feeling, what you're thinking, rather than just what your face did. It's not that
Exactly.
you twitched there, but for some reason, after they're finished, you go, oh yeah, that's exactly what I was trying to do at that time. So
Exactly. It's beyond just the
Yeah.
expression. It's
Yeah,
the
it's wonderful.
feeling. They're going to capture the feeling.
I mentioned, Belle being one of the most beloved princesses, but Gaston might be perhaps the most popular Disney villain.
oh, I'm so glad.
Any Gaston fans? Any Gaston fans? So, what do you think it is about Gaston? Because there's nothing appealing, or visually appealing, but morally appealing.
Okay, now he's going to give
about
you the
Gaston.
story that Gaston's not really dead, and Gaston's
I
coming back.
definitely want to talk about that.
Where did you get that?
Oh, yes.
So what do you think? What do you think it is about Gaston?
Gaston is a character. First of all, everyone in town loves Gaston.
Except
And
for
there's a
Belle.
reason that everyone in town, well, everyone, never mind. There's a reason for it. He is bigger than life. He enjoys life. He enjoys himself. He enjoys everything about it. So he can live this big. And I think that that's very appealing to a lot of people. They don't want to compete with it, but they wish, they think that's a wonderful way to enjoy. He has
So
great joie de vivre.
So you're saying they like narcissism?
That's what I was talking about. To be bigger than life is not necessarily to be a narcissist.
Okay, you're right. Okay, I'm just gonna back off on that. You could tell when we recorded the movie, we did so well that we got to be together also like Robbie and I were. And so we made up a lot of stuff with each other.
We did.
It was fun. It was really fun.
So
That was
Paige,
the background.
speaking on that, if Belle was to put up with Gaston and participate in one of his hobbies, is there a hobby that you think that Belle would not hate more than the others?
No.
No.
You mean just seeing the antlers and the heads and the poor animals in your bar? I was like, it makes me want to cry. Just like, oh my gosh. No, I can't. Well, what? You tell me what you think. You know Paige, so what does Richard think Belle would like?
No, I
about
think
Gaston?
that's part of the point. That Belle and Paige are antithetical.
That's a good word.
I like
that.
to one another because she likes to read.
No.
He can't read.
Yeah.
He doesn't understand that at all, and none of that has any importance to him. You asked the other day if I thought there was ever a time when Gaston, sitting in a corner by himself, would let down a facade. I don't think it's a facade. I think that's him. That's how he sees himself, and I think that's one of the reasons that they can't possibly work.
It's true.
You kind of touched upon a topic that I want to talk about, and that is we never do see Gaston officially die, right?
Oh, here we
We
go.
see him fall. So,
He had skulls.
Richard, do you think that there is somewhere out there that Gaston could have survived this fall and continues on with his life?
Well, I've told a lot of people this, and there are a lot of people who imagine what a sequel might be. And it's not just me. Somebody gave me an adaptation it's quite well thought out. It's entirely written out and so forth. They put a lot of time and effort into it, and they've imagined all sorts of things. Just one of which is, what if after a fall, Gaston opens his eyes, walks around and sees a mirror and realizes that he has been cursed by the same sorceress and is now a woman.
Isn't that brilliant? I think it's brilliant. I think it should happen.
Not a beast, but a woman. And he has to learn, just as the beast had to find love before he could become human again, Gaston might have to succeed. So there are people who've given a lot of serious thought to it. It's whether that could possibly sell a ticket, I don't know. But it's interesting to me that people think in those terms. So I'm encouraged.